Hey, 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 hey.
Hello, friends. Welcome, Glenn Anderson. It says you're new this week.
Yeah, welcome, Glenn. Hey, guys.
Let me move my hand over here.
We got our handy dandy ticker at the bottom of the screen because we're so close to a pretty big number. I think it's cold everywhere. I saw Oklahoma even got snow.
So, Glenn Anderson, where at in Texas are you from?
Hey, Leah. Hey, Cecil.
We have family in Texas. Someone was born in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Valerie, welcome.
Hey, Val.
Are you staying warm? Freezing tonight.
I'm noticing I have, why can't I have flour on my shirt. Oh, see, it's cold everywhere, even in Louisiana.
Almost. That's great. You must be talking about our little number. That little number down in the bottom, like right, right here. That's our subscriber count live. 2,991. We're 9 people away from hitting 3,000 subscribers. Never, ever, ever would I have thought it would be possible.
Definitely not. What was I gonna say?
Glenn said he's south of Fort Worth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my brother-in-law and sister are ministers of a church in just north of Dallas. I can't think of the name of this town that they're in right now. They've moved a lot, so it can be forgiven. Oh, but I was saying, the flower on my shirt. I learned a new skill tonight, so if you guys caught our Monday weekend recap, I told you guys how I was having such a fit with this new microphone on this camera, and got home before him, so pulled it out, was going to make a video. Hey, I'm trying to do this new thing and tell you guys about it. He gets home, and it was like a cute part of the video. I'm like, oh, Tad's home. I can show him what I'm doing. He comes in, he looks at the camera. He's like, yeah, the microphone's not on. But I learned to make tortillas. I'm so proud of myself. All you guys probably like, okay, that's so easy to do, but I've never done it before. And so we had homemade tortilla chicken tacos tonight.
Yeah, they turned out good.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so that leads us into our conversation tonight.
And you used tortillas. So the chicken that you made on Sunday, you shredded up whatever was left from that, and we had chicken tacos.
Yep.
With our homemade salsa.
Right. And, but tonight's topic of conversation, so if you're, like, for Glenn, who's new, hey, Jonice, 3, welcome. Hey, Bearded Giant.
Tracy out of Goshen, Eric, hey, welcome.
Hey,
I just saw you
guys.
Earlier.
But the month of November for us is a huge month of just celebrating everything regarding Thanksgivings and being thankful. Last week we kicked off with a really big giveaway. So Glenn or anyone else that wasn't in our live show last week, I think Todd's already thrown up a link to the giveaway contest in the chat window. And we're giving away, hey Bree, welcome. We're giving away 2 $100 In My Gardener gift cards. And all that we're asking for you to enter is to subscribe to a channel. And you have to use the link that we provided because it's a third-party app. You need to go and subscribe to a channel with less than 1,000 subs so we can share the love. Um, this week's topic is, and we were kind of debating on, like we always do with each other, what we're going to talk about tonight. And something that was just laid on my heart is it can be being thankful when it's hard to be thankful. And getting us to talk about that and kind of just sharing some of our experiences. And it's really easy to do like after the fact, when you look back at a moment in time and said, okay, that all worked out for the good, or I could have handled that better, and I could have been more thankful at the given point in time. And encouraging us and each other to try to find the things that we can be thankful for in the moments of time that aren't necessarily easy to express thanks. So I said that and as a segue to making tortillas, because it's as simple as this. Like, I think I'm doing this amazing thing and saving the family money if I can learn to make tortillas. And so I made all these tortillas. They turned out what I thought decently.
Yeah, me too.
And went to get the stuff out of the refrigerator to make tacos. And I had been saying when I was recording the video that obviously didn't turn out was, you know, if this works and the family likes them, we'll never have to buy tortillas again. And I was making them because we were out. Again, I got in the fridge to get the rest of the taco fixings out. And he had ran to the store last night. I just really don't do grocery shopping anymore at all. And there was 3 packages of store-bought tortillas in there that I did not know about. And I immediately had the attitude of, well, that was for nothing. And I caught myself. I'm like, Rachel, this is that moment. Like, you learned a new skill. That's awesome. I was able to, hey, my sister's here. Hey, Courtney.
Hey,
And
welcome. And Rose.
And you know, one of my just natural tendencies would have just been to be frustrated at that moment. And I caught myself getting frustrated. Like, here I did, thought I was doing this great thing, and he already got tortillas. But I shut it down, and I said, you know what? No, I'm going to celebrate the fact that, hey, I can make tortillas now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So it's those kinds of things, as silly and as small as that is. Just getting us to chat about what is that moment in time that you could have experienced a moment in your life where you would have probably received a lot more joy and probably graced a lot of more people around you if you would have had an attitude of thanksgiving rather than a complaining or whining attitude. I'm just catching up on the comments.
Yeah, a lot more people joined.
Hey, Joe.
Janice, almost Homestead, welcome.
I saw Rose joined. Hey, Kaylee, sorry.
YB Family Farm is Joe, right?
Joe, yeah. Kaylee is Farm on Quail Hollow.
Yeah, you remember the name so well.
I did, right, Tracy? Yes, but it's so hard to not get frustrated sometimes. So it's all about being thankful when it's hard. So a lot of you are new to our channel, and our channel's grown a lot. Todd just threw up that link to the In My Gardener giveaway in case you haven't had entered. So
there'll be 2. Here I am again. 2 winners will each win a $100 gift card to MI Gardener. And there's about 2 weeks left to enter. The link to that contest is also down in the description of this video. If you don't want to mess around with it now and you want to wait till this is over, just scroll down to the description and you'll find a link to that there.
Okay, and Deborah, what'd you miss? Not much. We're just getting going, and tonight's topic is being thankful when it's hard, when you just don't feel like being thankful. Yes, MI Gardner's great. We love his what he stands for and his products. So I started to say a lot of you are so super new to our channel, or not new, but maybe weren't with us from the beginning. And I wanted to recap a quick story that we told during our live stream when we first went live.
The very first one?
Very first one.
January 1st?
January 1st.
2018?
Yeah. And it was kind of about how we got to our property that we're on today and this homestead. And it had been a yearning in my heart for a long time. So I had been searching intently for, and very purposefully, after noodling on it and getting him on, even before he was on board, I was looking at properties. And probably 6 months before we bought this property, I started finding ones that I thought were it, right? Because you have this desire to do something, and if you're a person like me, I'm an activator. I take action, and I don't second guess decision making too much. And it felt like everything was just falling through the cracks. You know, he was, because he wasn't necessarily all in, there was reasons that, yeah, that's probably not right, or that property would need a lot of work, and it just felt like everything wasn't ever going to be right. And I did a video on it if you haven't seen it, and it's just my Homestead story about how faith beginnings. And looking back at it now, and even looking back at it when we finally found this property, I was able to have so much thanks and like, oh wow, okay, I can see what God was doing, and that it wasn't the right time, and Todd wasn't on board with me, or that property wasn't the right property because this one's so much better. And had I had just a more peaceful comfort about the process and the search, it would have been saved probably us some tension and allowed the journey to be more peaceful to get us where we are today. So that's just a little recap for some new people on, just because I know some people are in here probably today just as homestead dreamers, or maybe not even homestead dreamers, but dreaming about a new move in your life. And I just encourage you to try to find something to be so super thankful for about where you are now, and thankful for every time a door closes that you know that there's something better out there for you. Yes, I know, City Homestead. We're hoping. That's why we've got the little ticker at the bottom. So just in case anyone's in the chat and you haven't subscribed, but you just came over from Facebook or Instagram, please hit that subscribe button for us, because we love having you here. And it just makes sure that you get notified when we put new videos out and things like that. So somebody tell me what has been really hard for you to find thanks in the moment in time that you can share with others, or you feel comfortable with sharing.
Hey, Two Family, welcome.
Welcome to Fam.
And Teal House.
Hey, Teal House, welcome. Hi, Rosanna. I have a whole list, so I could just keep talking and talking and talking. So pretty neat. I'm a Homestead newbie, and we bought our property 2 years ago. It wasn't what we wanted, but we found out it's what we needed. That's exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Hey, the sub just went up again, 29.92.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, whoever that was.
Yes. Tracy, that's so right. So, Carrie, speaking of that, freezing weather in Texas, it's just so wrong. Find Thanksgiving in that. Like, you get to stay cuddled up and in the house, and maybe it keeps you from going and doing manual labor that you probably think needs to be done, but you can relax. That was on my list. Like, when it is suddenly icing and sleeting outside or blowing down snow or hard winds, and we had projects to do and all of our plans are blown out the door, it's like I've actually found myself starting to do this, like, oh, okay, we must need the rest. Okay, so I'm going to chill and say thanks. I get to go cuddle up on the couch or do something inside that's less taxing. Okay.
Got a lot of good comments here coming in.
I'm going to scroll up if I can. Oops.
Well,
Can't. I don't know how to work this thing.
no, here, you can
Oh, that.
use this mouse so we can scroll up. Maybe I went too far.
That's okay. How about you? You got anything to share? Well, yeah, right. You still have to go out for the animals. Absolutely, of course.
Yeah, I had one. So we talked about this, and I tend to ramble sometimes. So if I start talking too long, just whack me or something. We have a luxury of, we actually work together every day. I mean, not like side by side, sitting in the same. We work in the same building as each other, so we get to have lunch together every day when we're not tied up with things. And we talked today at lunch about what we wanted to talk about tonight, and thankfulness, and being thankful for things that are hard, or being thankful for things that are not obvious. And she said, all right, think of some stuff you want to talk about. And I thought about it for quite a while, and I kind of struggled with it a little bit, because I felt like everything that I thought of was like obvious. Well, of course I'm thankful for my kids and my family and my wife and my home and my job, and thankful for all these things. But the one story that I came up with was so to like rewind my life a long ways, before I was even 1 year old, my parents divorced. My birth parents that gave birth to me. So I grew up in 40 some years ago in a household that was a divorced family. Just like some other people. It wasn't as common back then as it is now, but I remember growing up when I was in school, like in grade school, and talking to other kids about parents, and you learn about kids and this and that. And I always felt a little bit different than all the other kids who only had, like, their house was like a mom and a dad, because I had a mom and a dad and a stepdad and a stepmom. So things always felt kind of weird. I always felt a little different.
Well, didn't you say like you felt like you didn't have it as good as the other kids?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's a little bit of that when you're a little kid. You know, you don't really understand things. You just feel different. I feel different than everybody else. And then to fast forward to about the middle of my life, and it kind of happened again. My mom and my stepdad, they got a divorce, and they both remarried. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, what's going on here? But pretty quickly, I realized that there's a lot of people who have a mom and a dad, and it can be a really great mom and a really great dad. But I'm really blessed in that I have 6 parents now. I have my mom and my dad that gave birth to me, and I have 4 other step parents who basically helped raise me my entire life. Not all the time when I was a little kid, but I'm surrounded by 6 amazing people that have taught me so many things in my life. So I'm really thankful for what I have today.
And we go to them all for such different things,
Right.
like they're so unique in their own right.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone has different knowledge in different areas, a different background, different skills. I need help with something. Okay, do I call my stepdad, or do I call my real dad, or do I call my other stepdad? Who am I going to call? And I have all these resources available. So
Hmm. And how many people or women out there would probably say, I have 3 mother-in-laws, but I do, and I love them all in their own way, and they all nurture me and love me and encourage me all uniquely. Um, and so, what could have been, and I'm sure that there's a lot of even adults today that have some bitterness about parents' divorce. But to find an opportunity to find some thankfulness in that. Either they got out of a bad situation, and so there's thankfulness there, or you inherited then more beautiful family to love on you and to love back. So
yep.
There was some good comments up there, like
I
Kaylee
didn't say
said,
anything. I took my glasses off.
Kaylee said that she, when things even don't go right on the farm, you mess something up or something just doesn't go right, there's always an opportunity to learn something. And that just happened to us over the weekend. We were not ready for winter at all. And I was near tears out there while he was in the house sleeping, trying to figure out how to thaw out the pigs' water and the goats' waters. The chickens was easy enough to fix. But I had nothing. I had to run to town to get a solution. And then I ran over the chicken feed, and it was just a nightmare. And I got home, and I was thankful he was awake and ready to help me. But we did learn through that experience. We'll be more ready next year.
I think I got caught up on the comments.
So Denise said, we're in mid-transition. I'm learning to be thankful for the time I have to learn about what I want to do on my homestead. Oh, good. I'm glad that you have that mindset. It was hard for me to have that mindset because, well, I would say at least the last 3 years before we made the move, because I was just so done with where we were that it was hard for me to find joy in just the learning anymore. So I'm glad that you have that outlook.
Yeah, and if you're mid-transition, moving from one house to another type situation, when you get to your new house, don't rush things.
Yeah,
take your time, learn your land.
Deborah said, I give thanks for health, for myself, my family, the blessings of love, of my profession, and life itself. With all the fires in California and smoke blanketing the sky, we are safe. Well, praise God. Amen. So my sister Courtney, I don't know if she's still here in the chat. She's in San Diego area. And I immediately looked up. We don't watch the news at all. So I think it was probably 3 or 4 days into the fire that I even found out about it, which is probably not a good thing. But I immediately pulled up the map and found out that they were Northern California area, at least further away from them. So, of course, I immediately gave thanks for that she wasn't in harm's way. So, hold on. My parents were divorced by the time I was 6 months old. Shotgun wedding didn't last so long. That sounds like Todd's mom and dad's first marriage. Yeah, went so much through it. My sister passed in May. The pain never goes away, but I'm grateful every day for the family. Grateful for my niece's teaching. Oh, Nano, I'm so sorry about that. I can't imagine losing one of my sisters. That's would be very, very tough. Awesome. Imagine Acre Wood. Glad to have found your channel. My family and I are going off-grid debt-free, 12 years in the making. Way to stick with the plan. Awesome. When we were first starting this, we didn't even know that necessarily how we're choosing to homestead is what we wanted to do. We were thinking the off-grid lifestyle too, and just disconnecting, and so we've always watched a mix of, which is probably why we owned first our off-grid recreational property before we owned this, because we were so drawn to that. Rose said her dad's cousin's house was inches away from the flames. My goodness. So Hidden Meadows Farm says, life. That's what I'm thankful for. It's something I remind myself daily as a funeral director. Oops. And then listening to you talk reminds me again to hold your loved ones so close. I can't imagine what you have to see every day, and I thank you for that, being able to do that job. I think that that's probably one of the most selfless and underappreciated jobs out there, is the folks that take on managing funeral homes and funeral director, morticians and stuff like that.
Yeah, Rosanna, I think my counts are the same as yours.
Yeah.
And today, I see it all as a blessing. I mean, there's always that, could I go back in time and change things if things could be different? No, I'm happy with my past. I'm happy with everything the way it is because I'm happy with my life now. And I'm thankful for what I have and the family that I have.
Awesome. So somebody said that they were thankful for their job, and that was my second one. I have to admit, it's really, really hard to every single day, because for those that might be new and don't know, Todd and I both have a full-time off-property job. And it's not the desire of my heart. I'm good at my job. And I have a great job. I'm very blessed because I should probably have to have a degree to have my job, and I never finished college completely.
Same with me. I have no degree.
And when I think about it, how much I dread every single Monday having to leave the property to go to work. I have to coach myself up on the way in, and I have to say I'm thankful that this job is affording me the life away from the job. It's affording me a comfortable retirement when we retire. It's affording me health insurance. It's paid for my kids' extracurricular activities, things like that. So that's one of those intentional thankfulness coaches I have to do for myself. And it's kind of like somebody said, I might not be where I want to be, but I need to be thankful for where I am right now. So that's it. That's a hard one. And I'll tell you something, it's something I very much struggle with when I watch. And sometimes I have to walk away from it, from the TV, when I watch other YouTubers that are, that are homesteaders, that are doing it full time. And I'll get like, what's the word? It's not really jealous. I guess more like envy. I'll just wish I could have that, rather than just say, I basically do. I just don't get to stay home and do it all day. So that's just something that I have to be intentionally thankful for every single day. Otherwise, I would be a whiny complainer that I have to work.
Comment check?
Yeah, comment check. Oh, creating essence. So I'm a bereavement doula. I support families losing babies. It's painful work, but a privilege as someone's almost lost a child, who has lost a child, to help next families in ways most don't understand. That is a very, very noble profession too. My baby sister uh, had a stillborn birth at just over 8 months, and it was nothing that I think anyone that hasn't gone through it can nurture somebody's heart that's going through it. So that's awesome that you're doing that. Oh, thanks, Sherry. Appreciate that. Asked to share it. Teal House Farm said, I'm thankful for our 4 girls. It's not always easy with little ones, but they bring us so much joy and so many blessings. Yes, please be thankful, all of you that still have little ones. All of our kids, our baby's a senior in high school. And that is the last on my list, but I'll talk about it now. Something that I'm struggling with, and maybe some of you wiser folks in the chat room can encourage me, is becoming an empty nester and finding thankfulness in that. I'm not quite sure how to do it yet, other than the budget goes down. I miss my kids a lot. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, her middle son Cameron, he's about an hour away at college. And he comes home probably maybe every other weekend or so on average, but he just got a job, a second job, working over the holidays in retail. So he may come home a little less. And her oldest son is stationed in Hawaii in the military. And he's been there for
4 years.
Yeah, for 4 years. He's basically not lived with us.
So I get to see him like once a week, I guess, but I'll say that I'm thankful that we have technology that we could still stay in touch. And my kids tease with me, and Courtney, you'll appreciate this. My kids tease me because they're all leaving. And they say, well, Mom, that's how your family is. No one lives by each other. Like, Courtney's out in San Diego. My baby sister's in Provo, Utah. My dad, my brother, my sister in Texas, but no one lives by each other, and Texas is huge. So we never, ever see each other. I mean, it's going to be a funeral or a wedding of some sort that's going to bring us together. It's just, we're too big of a family to make it all work at any given time. I think the last time we were all together was Christmas, when I think Press was 12, 13. He's 22 now, so it's been a long time. And so my kids are just like trying to express their right, I guess, as my children to go move away. But it's something that I'm struggling with, finding thankfulness. And I guess in another aspect, and it's something I want to prepare you guys for that have younger children. I was a very, very strong mom. I raised extremely independent children. They flew by themselves since the age of 10. I wanted them to be comfortable going out on their own, finding their own wings, never knowing I was going to feel this way now when they actually leave. I thought I'd be fine. Like, oh, that's great. I raised these amazing independent children. And that is something that I'm super, super thankful for, that there are these amazing, capable adults that are doing it on their own. But I don't know.
Well, in being thankful for them, you also need to be proud of them.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
every all the ones that aren't here are accomplishing something.
Yeah, right.
And have accomplished something.
Right, Rose? Oh, us empty nester moms need to pull together. We need to make an empty nest mom group. I'm telling you, it's a tricky one. Right, Ladina? What's the trick to get your adult boys to stay in touch? It's tough, especially my son that's in the Navy. He's never been a big communicator. He's very much like a one-word answer person.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, good.
Fine.
Good.
Good.
Yeah. Everything all right? Yep. So, and I think being a submariner on a submarine, they even lose more communication skills.
Yeah, his last deployment, it was 6 months. He was basically underwater.
Right. So, I think for me, it's just pestering them and offering what I can do. What can I do? And so he just bought a house, so he's reaching out to me on like paint colors and decorating and stuff like that. And so that's fun.
Yeah, and Deborah, finding purpose, that's a portion of the reason why we moved from the city out to the country was kids were leaving. They were watching another kid, another kid, and pretty soon it's going to be me and you living in the city. And we need to be somewhere in the country where we can be outside and we can do things together.
Bye, Rose.
Bye, Rose. Thanks for joining.
Hey, Courtney. Hey, Kenny.
Hey, you made it. Welcome.
Yeah, so that was one of the reasons that we moved to our property was we needed something to do together. Because we were no more required to be mom and dad on the run and taking kids here and taking kids there and just prepping dinner to make sure everybody's fed and getting laundry done. It's like we had finally time to be husband and wife and have new dreams together, and that's when we made the decision to start this. Oh, I know. I asked my mother-in-law, Todd's mom, when does it stop? When do you finally feel comfortable that you don't have to give advice anymore and that they, just to trust that they're making good decisions? She's like, that never goes away. And her kids are, of course, Todd's age and my age. Next topic.
Do you have anything else on your list?
Yeah, I did. I said
from a thankfulness perspective or changing?
No. Yeah. So thankful for being sick, or injured or hurt, whatever the topic is. I'm a really kind of crabby sick person. Not really crabby, but I just don't want anyone to bother me. I just typically want to go to my bed and check on Forest. Check on me if I need something. If I don't, just leave me alone. And this last week, I came down with something all up in my head, neck, stuffy. Oh, just felt terrible. And so I was thankful that I didn't have to go to the doctor, that I had medicines that we made here at the house from basically our own property that I could take to heal my body. Not that I necessarily at all am preaching don't go to the doctor. I'm not one of those people. I've had one family member die from strep throat. Believe me, it happens. Strep is nothing to play with. So, and then my son, I almost lost my son to the same disease from strep. I should do a video on that all alone. Yes, go to the doctor if you're sick. But I knew I wasn't sick like that, and I could just heal my body with the medicines that we had made here on the home. And so I appreciate that and thankful that we're learning about these herbal remedies.
And what'd you take?
I took the honey garlic and elderberry syrup, and I was taking it by the spoonful. Every time I walk through the kitchen, I take it. So I want to learn more about that. And so with that, I'm thankful that I have, part-time permies, people like part-time permies that I can reach out to. That probably saved my life the last time I was at the cabin, because I sent her a picture of a mushroom that I found. I'm like, Cindy, is this a good mushroom that I can eat? She's like, yeah, Rachel, I'm going to eat that, and you should probably wash your hands and wash any surfaces that was on. So, yes. Well, Mama Grows, if your hubby has strep, please make sure he is getting on the right penicillin, amoxicillin prescription drugs that he needs. My mother died from it, and my son went into kidney failure. From both of them had strep, weren't diagnosed with it because they're both tough people. They have the exact same personality. I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to push through it. And my son was in Children's Hospital for 10 days and 6 months recovery, and my mom didn't even make it 10 days. So
fire cider, we have not done fire cider yet.
No, I want to, and I've wanted to ever since I first watched Rebecca Rhodes do it. Gosh, that was probably 4 or 5 years ago. No, I'll say everyone's recipe looks so different for it. I think I like Rebecca's recipe compared to how I see some other people make it.
Well, so the land, seems like they put a lot more peppers in theirs.
Maybe. And some people don't even do the jalapenos. So I want to try it very, very much. I think my issue is and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, those are, it's one of those things that you have to basically let sit for like 2 or 3 months before you need it. And I'm never that far prepared. like I was just thinking the other day, like, oh, I should start making some things for Christmas. And I was like, oh, I can't make that. I don't have enough time. I can't make that. I don't have enough time. So, God, we haven't watched Falchematic in a long time. Have they not put out a single video in forever?
They either went off the grid or I got unsubscribed
well, they were off
to them.
The grid already.
You know what I mean. Because didn't they take a break or something? Maybe?
Well, they always do those intermittent breaks,
right,
but they're one of our favorite channels, and we have not seen them in a long time. I'm sure they're enjoying life, no doubt.
Yeah, the thing about the fire cider that interests me is not so much the peppers, because I'm not a spicy person. It's the ginger.
Oh, yeah.
I really like ginger.
Mm-hmm.
We need to plant some ginger sometime.
Yeah, I know. That'd be nice. That's where I'm at with Christmas gifts. I know, right?
Asparagus bed and ginger bed are two of the things that we have not planted yet on our homestead that I really want to do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they put out a video a few weeks ago. I didn't see it.
Cool. Yeah, definitely some new names in the chat tonight, so welcome.
Super welcome.
If you're not subscribed to us, please consider subscribing. We're 8 people away from 3,000.
Yes.
Which is awesome. I'm very thankful.
Oh yeah, that's an easy one to be thankful for.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be things that are hard to be thankful for.
Right. So I know something that we all like kind of tease each other about. Typically come like late August, early September around here, and that's thankful for the harvest. And I'll tell you, at the end of that green bean season, it was hard to be thankful anymore for green beans.
How many quarts did you can?
I think like 54
57
quarts.
Or something?
So I'm just, can I sub again? I know I wish, but I don't want it to go down for it to go back up. So just stick around. But even in the most joyful moments in life, we can get like those little natural tendencies to complain just are there as humans. It's so annoying.
We just got somebody else.
Aw, thanks, guys.
Thank you, whoever that was. 7 more.
And what was I saying? Oh, the green beans. I was just done. But now when I go down to my, I call it the root cellar or whatever, but it's just the back end of our basement where we keep everything. I don't have to get out in the car and go to the grocery store. My pantry's low. I can just go down to the basement and restock it. Well, life on Beagle Road, you guys, I'm still waiting on the potato video. I'm about to drive to Pennsylvania and dig into those boxes myself if I don't get that video soon.
They haven't harvested them yet?
No, but Kenny showed a video the other day and they were still like this lush green box. I'm like, how are they still green?
Yeah, it was probably some old footage that he pulled up.
Right. I didn't keep track of the number of jars I canned this year. My only goal was to preserve more than it's my goal every single year to preserve more than I did the year before. And I like blew that out of the water. So I'm super happy with the amount. I think I do always set goals though for quantities of each thing I'm growing. And the only thing that I have yet to figure out how much to plant to get a big enough harvest to preserve is peas. So if anyone has any tips on how to quantify how many peas I need to put in the ground to get... I would appreciate being able to preserve about 23 gallons, like Ziploc gallon-sized bags of peas. I can't figure it out. I was able to get like 2 gallons this year. Way off what I wanted.
Yeah, and you have a spreadsheet that you use, and you say, I planted X number of square feet of this, and at the end of the season you go back and you update and say I got 57 quarts of green beans off of X number of square feet, and so you're doing a good job tracking it.
Yeah.
Just the
look, it went up again. Yay.
Oh, awesome.
Thanks, guys. So creating essence, I have a story to tell you. So I was a stay-at-home mom until my youngest was like 2.5. So my oldest at the time would have been 6.5. Teal House Farm said, I'm thankful for Todd's magnificent beard. I'm not thankful for it, so shh. That's something for me to be hard to be thankful for. I'm thankful that he's still healthy under there and not getting like some disease, I guess.
A disease under my beard?
I don't know. But I was talking to Creating Essence because she's a doula. I had the strongest desire to become a midwife. I wanted it so bad. I got all these study materials. I knew what like certification course I was going to do. I just didn't have probably the time and energy to put all my heart into it. But it would be fun. Or I think sometimes being one of those the cuddle moms for the babies that are abandoned at hospitals or addicted babies would be an amazing job too. What did she say? Of course you did, you project manager.
Of course what? Oh, project.
Yeah.
Courtney?
Yeah. I project manage everything.
She does. There's always lists and lists.
Yeah.
There was a couple things that we had.
What time is it? Oh, we've only got 9 minutes left. So I don't know the first thing. He mentioned about planting ginger on the property. I don't know the first thing about it, though. We would really have to study it before we get into it.
Sure. And I think it's one of those things that once you plant it, it just keeps growing back every year, kind of like asparagus. At least
yeah, you probably have to be careful not to over-harvest from it, though.
Right. One of the things, there was a Facebook group.
Courtney said if they have a fourth, I can come be her midwife. Oh, yeah. I'll take good care of you. I can do it. I had natural childbirth. I watched all the birthing stories on TLC. I know how it's done.
You're funny. We did recently, in a lot of our videos that we put out, if there's a tool or something that we use in that video, chances are we probably bought it from Amazon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we usually will throw links in the bottom of our description of our video to an Amazon affiliate link, where if you are interested in purchasing one, if you purchase using that link, we get a small commission. You don't have to pay any extra. We did recently set up an Amazon influencer page, which is basically like a storefront. And we're trying to go back through a lot of our old videos and put all of this stuff in one place. And anything that you see in this store is something that we've actually purchased.
Yeah.
And we bought. We own it here. We've used it. And we like it.
Right. I won't put anything on here that I don't like. Like that soil thermometer is a lifesaver in the spring when your soil has to be certain temperatures to plant things.
Mm-hmm.
Like these, a lot of the things that I need to get a whole lot more in this kitchen storefront, but there's so many other things that I've bought, like moving away from Ziploc bags. I have the reusable silicone slider bags now. That I bought on Amazon. I need to get on here. So you're going to see a lot more things that allow just either a zero waste lifestyle, canning, preserving things that we've bought on here. So the storefront isn't a wish list. It's, I don't know if you're familiar with how people can link to, if you are an Amazon affiliate, you can link. Yes, the steam juicer is on there, Josh. Where did that page go, honey?
I'll link it in the chat right now.
Well, I made sure to put it on there for House to Homestead, too. So we're Amazon affiliates. We just got approved to be an Amazon influencer. And that allows us to have a storefront where the products that we've bought and we use on our homestead, we can set up a storefront for other people to go and procure the same items from. I guess they could go and get them from there and put it on their wish list. Yeah, but it wouldn't go on my wish list.
Right, yeah, absolutely. If you go to our store and you click on something, you can add it straight to your wish list.
So Mama Grows, she said she worries that those slider bags will break. I will tell you the ones I bought, I think I could put like a gorilla in it and
a gallon of soup?
Easily a gallon of soup. I mean, I've put so much in there that I think they're amazing, amazing. The only challenge is that until you use like the plastic sliders that go over the silicone a couple times, it can be like challenging to get that on. But I've also found that I'm putting them on backwards usually when it's challenging.
Same with the lid for the canny, the
Right.
pressure canner.
Island Homesteader had a good point about ginger surviving in our winters. I've heard that too. I have heard where people will dig it up and bring it in the house for the winter, though.
Sounds like it's going to be a small bed.
I'm not sure what kit.com is part-time, so I wouldn't know. Do you know what kit.com is?
No.
A small gorilla? Well, I've never seen a gorilla outside of the zoo, but definitely not a big gorilla, but maybe a baby gorilla would fit in it.
Okay, so I think I might know what kit.com, because some of the photographer people that I follow, they'll have a kit.com profile where it'll show all the camera gear, all the lenses that they shoot with, and everything is linked to an Amazon affiliate.
Oh, so it's kind of just a different kind of page setup.
Yep. 4 more subscribers.
Yay!
And we're at 3,000.
I appreciate that so much,
Another
guys.
one joined. Thank you.
It's an immature form.
Yeah, we're going to have to learn more about ginger, apparently, before we start planting some.
Did you say hi to Trish? I'm not sure when she joined. Hey, Trish, how are you? Oh, it looks like you just got here. You missed all the fun talk. I even cried a little.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Let's see. Instagram. You already, okay.
Yeah, the only other thing was, and I didn't have a page thing set up on it, but our Facebook page, we started our Facebook page like 3 months ago, I think, and did nothing with it other than we cross-posted some Instagram.
We're getting a lot more active on there now.
We started posting more stuff. We're posting some Facebook exclusive stuff now.
Yeah.
But I checked today, we're at like 98 followers or 99 followers.
Yeah, that's fun. And like it's getting active where people are communicating with each other, so it's fun.
Yeah, pretty cool. Being that we like never ever really promoted it ever.
No, right.
People are just finding us, which is cool.
Appreciate it, Trish. Thanks.
Rose was here earlier.
Yeah, she had to go. Yeah. Oh, we lost one. Sorry to see you go. That's okay. Who am I talking to? Oh, okay. So while we have 2 minutes left, I want to ask everyone right now to say #LOBR Save the Goats. We need to love on life on Beagle Road. They're going through a challenging time with their local government officials and trying to get their property appropriately zoned for the rural community that they live in, and could just use the moral support while we're not around them to necessarily be there. I told her today, I wish I could just come clean your house for you. So if all you wanted to do was go sit with your goats or cuddle up underneath a blanket, you could do that. Anyway, we love you, Courtney and Kenny. We're thinking about you. Of course, we wish you nothing but the best. And know that you will be successful in the appropriate way that you need to be. Yes. Yay! LOBR, save the goats. Awesome. You're not going to regret it, Mama Grows. You might as well just get yourself a bowl of popcorn, sit down, and get ready to crack up. I recommend you start with all the ungoals video. Courtney, what's the name of your ungoals video? Their 2018 ungoals video. Oh, so good.
It was a list of all the stuff that they're not going to do this year, right?
I think we would find a lot more thankfulness in our goals if we just committed to what we're not going to do this year. Life on Beagle Roads in Pennsylvania. Hey Tara, you're here! Oh my gosh, yay! Thanks. Oh, I hope it's the new baby bunny cage. Yeah, 2018 on goals, yes. All right, well, it's been a great night. I'm very much on the point in time. It's 10:01.
Project manager, you're behind schedule,
You're
right?
behind schedule, yes.
Do I have anything else? No. Just the contest reminder. There's about 2 weeks left to enter our contest to win a $100 gift card to M.I. Gardner.
Yeah, that's not the current one. Do we have a current view of how many entries we have? I think there's like 338 entries, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So I will tell you guys, though, it is very important that all we're asking you to do is go and sub to a channel less than 1,000 subs. And I'll tell you, in previewing some of the answers, people aren't doing that. They're going out and subbing to channels that have 50,000 subs or 20,000 subs, or even us. They said, I sub to you. Well, that doesn't qualify to be entered into the contest. So those will be canceled out, unfortunately. So our main purpose of our contest is to give support and love to small channels. So we love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us and celebrating some thankfulness when it's kind of hard to be thankful. And just encourage you, if tomorrow doesn't start out on the right foot or something comes your way, to just take a breath and say, how can I find some level of thankfulness in this moment?
Absolutely. The contest links, the Amazon store, down in the description of this video, everything's already preloaded in there. So if you missed it, scroll down, you can find it.
I love you, Courtney.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for joining. See you next Tuesday. Still can't point my finger right. Next Tuesday, we'll be here live again, and we got a couple videos to do this week, right?
Do we?
Yeah.
I'm sure we do.
You signed up for a collab.
Oh, I did. Two family. I'm turning in my collab. I think I'm late, but I'm getting that done.
She says due Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Whew. Good. Okay.
All right.
I thought I was already late.